Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Forest of Doom, preferably, very likely the last episode of this series. It's because I have this game pinned down. I think exactly what we need to do, where we need to go and how to do it. So there will be a lot of skipping text in this one, I think, because I'm gonna explain what we're doing instead of rereading once again to not waste time. And finish the game. We're gonna pick this or this road, which will be different. And here is the dragon actually, not here. So we get to use the fruit which we just found. That sounds like pretty good straightforward plan, so let's head west. There is the pack of dogs and the hunter. We start in conversation with him. We could attack him for his gold though, but we don't really need to do that. We can carry on the conversation. He gets down and give us a belladonna, which I think, if I remember, I'd have to do something with the werewolf. Very likely. We do arrive at the crossroads along this path and we need to head west to beat this guy. He does accept, I do accept this challenge. I cheat with my armband of strength, and he in this belief gives me his dust of levitation, which is item we really need, really badly. At this point, we're gonna head north. As we walk further northwest, we're gonna row the wooden boat across the river. Last time we checked the base of the waterfall. You untie the boat and start to row across the river to the far bank. You are about halfway when you notice that the bottom of the boat is beginning to fill with water. I don't remember that I did that, that's why I'm reading it. Leaks appear everywhere. The boat is rotten and starts to sink. You grab your possessions and swim across to the other side. You climb out to river and are dismayed to see that your remaining provisions, if you have any, have dissolved in the water. Shit, I think I did this actually last time. But we have maggot-ridden biscuit still, I think. It is getting dark as the night closes in and you decide to climb behind some rocks to the right. And just when we fall asleep, it happens to be a full moon, which resolves in attack of the werewolf. Which we shouldn't have much problem to beat. Although did he hit me last time? Is it why I get... The werewolf wanted you during combat. He didn't. You did not receive any wounds. You joined 1 luck point. Flawless. We're gonna get back to sleep with the restless night. Now we need to go east and get to these guys. Is this even a let's play? Does this count as let's play video? I think like this is not very good video for last episode just yet, but I don't know how long will be the ending and I wanted to go through this. Although I probably could just cut the living shit out of it, if it will be too long. Gonna test our luck. They're gonna miss our bum. And we want to attack the Wild Hillman. Excellent. Around the neck of one of the Wild Hill men, you find a small silver key, hanging on a small leather cord. Perfect. Okay, now here is the well. I think, since I have the other piece of the hammer is here, we could take this one, because here is also one one way west, which probably might contain some event. So we want to head west. The valley floor is covered with lush green grass and is very flat. You soon arrive at another junction in the path. You may either continue west, or you may head north again. To the left of the path you notice a large mud pool, bubbling loudly. Steam rises from the thick bubble, breaking the surface of the mud. You might throw a gold piece, if you have any, in the mud and make your wish. Wrap some hot mud onto your wounds, or continue north. We are not wounded in any way. We're just suspicious, taking into account how the other games went. You make a wish but nothing happens. You lose 1 luck point. Let's just continue. High in the sky you see a large flying creature. It is certainly bigger than any bird you have ever seen. As it comes closer you draw your sword. It screeches loudly and you can see its long head and mouth full of sharp teeth. Its green skin is reptilian and its wings span some 5 meters. There is nowhere to take cover on the valley floor and you must fight the pterodactyl, swooping down on you. Actually, when I think of that, I could use the mud and see will that be some event. You know what? Let's do this. That's a lot of savings. Your wounds held before your eyes do the magical properties of the mud. You gain 4 stamina. I don't think this adds me anything. No, we can have more. Okay, pterodactyl. We didn't lose anything. But we didn't also waste too much time. The loathsome pterodactyl lies in a crumpled heap, where it crashed to the floor after the fatal blow from your sword. Walking over to it, you notice a yellow arrow pointed on the grass beside the path, pointing to the west. If you wish to follow the arrow, or if you wish to keep going north along the path. I am curious. You follow 5 more arrows to the trunk of an old dead tree, still rotted in the ground. You see that the trunk is hollow and that the hole continues through the trunk into the ground to make a tunnel. It is dark down the hole and you cannot see how far it is to the bottom. But we do have the ring of light. The light from your ring pierces through murky depths of the tree trunk and the tunnel below. You see a gold medallion hanging from a silk ribbon within your reach on a wooden peg inside the trunk. It is worth 5 gold pieces and put it in your backpack. The bottom of this tunnel is some 5 meters below, but do you possess a rope of climbing? You take the rope of climbing out of your backpack. As if it knows what to do, it wraps itself round the top of the tree trunk and descends to the hole into the tunnel below, inviting you to climb down. You climb down the rope to the tunnel below. Soon your eyes become accustomed to the dark and you see that the tunnel is only 1 meter high. You must crawl along it on your hands and knees to explore it. The tunnel goes deeper underground, heading west some 60 meters before opening out into a vast cavern. With a green slimy walls, a shaft of daylight shines down from the roof of the cavern, illuminating the floor. A small pale-skinned humanoids are scattered about and they appear to be tending crops of different colored fungi. A stream trickles through the cavern. Stone steps arise past alcoves on the far wall to the hole in the roof, through which the daylight streams. You draw your sword and approach one of the small humanoids. As you get nearer, you see that they are headless and their eyes are blank. They seem totally uninterested in your presence, walking slowly between the rows of fungi and bending down occasionally to remove unwelcome insects and weeds from the crops. You may attack one of the small humanoids, chop down one of the fungi, or demand to eat a green-topped fungus or demand to eat a red-topped fungus. Fungus! Isn't that just what I love from those games? I'm feeling for green one today. How about that? You shout at two humanoids who are tending to a patch of green-topped fungi. They ignore you, continuing with their work. You grab hold of a fungus top, breaking a piece off, and start to eat it. It tastes good, and adds strength to your body. You gain 4 stamina points. There does not seem much sense in staying here any longer, and you walk over to the steps on the far wall. The steps are made of stone, chiseled into the wall of the cavern. They are wet from the slime which drips down the walls. You see that there are 3 alcoves leading off to the steps into the cavern wall at various intervals, up to the roof. They are each 3 meters high. You climb the steps and peer into the gloom of the first alcove, where you can see a barrel and a wooden chest. Let's look inside the barrel, or... Sure, what is inside the barrel? Inside the barrel you find a heavy iron shield. Is it a cursed iron shield? You now possess an Emperor shield made long ago by a master armorer. You gain 1 luck point. The shield will give you a greater defense in all future battles. Should a creature wound you, the shield has 50% chance to block 1 point of damage. If you have not done so already, you may now try to open the wooden chest. Of course. But of course I will. You raise your sword above your head and smash it down on the wooden chest. It splinters into tiny pieces, and amongst the broken beads of wood you find 8 gold pieces. You gain 1 luck point. But you may leave the alcove, because we checked the barrel already. Climbing the steps you soon reach the second alcove. You see a vague shapes in the dark and hear the sound of shuffling feet. Small humanoids, but these wear leather armor and carry long spears. They move to attack you and you are forced to fight the Clone Warriors. They came at you one at a time. I bet this will be not a problem whatsoever. Excellent. As each clone warrior dies, it dissolves into a pool of colored liquid on the rocky floor. Not wishing to stay in this dank and mossy alcove any longer, you leave and climb further up the steps. Oh boy, what is this? Just as you reach the last steps before the next alcove, a jet of flame shoots out to bar your way. Then a huge dark shape steps out from the alcove with flame shooting from its nostrils. Black smoke curls up in the air. The beast is shaped like a man but has wings and carries a flaming sword in one hand and a whip in the other. A golden crown sits on its head. It faces you motionless on the steps above you. Suddenly it cracks its whip and raises its fiery sword. The only way out of this cavern lies before you at the top of the steps. To get there, you will have to fight the Fire Demon, Master of Clones. 10 skill. Whoa! What is this bullshit? Okay. A first challenging fight, you say? Shit. I shouldn't do that. Ooh. Okay, this is like whip and fire sword, I think. Whoa! I didn't read this part. What he did was, addition to normal attacks with his fiery sword, he throws 1 die every attack round to its whip, and roll 1 or 2, the whip will lash you, and 1 point must be subtracted from your stamina. A roll of 3 to 6 means the whip misses you. It is possible to use your luck against the whip. Okay, we did beat him though. In this dying thorns, the black fire demon is engulfed by its own fire. You step forward and grab its crown as it slams to the ground in a smoldering heap. Its alcove layers cold and dank inside. There is a magnificent throne in front of which cover 2 clone warriors on their hands and knees, bowing to you in worship. You have defeated their master. We can place the crown on our head, sit on the throne, or step over to the fire demon. I want to save because I'm not sure what will happen. The crown fits perfectly on your head. The 2 clone warriors look up and stare in awe at you. With the crown on your head, you hear talking in your mind and you realize that the clone warriors are trying to communicate telepathically with you. They tell you that you are the new master and they require instruction. They ask you what should be done with the crop of red-topped fungi. You decide that you cannot want to be master of the clone warriors. And raise your hands to your head to remove the crown. With horror, you see that the skin on your hands has withered and darkened dramatically. You try to take the crown off your head, but it will not move. It is evil and has found a new host on you. Gradually, your features change as you adopt to shape and color of a fire demon. Your new destiny is determined and your adventure ends here. Shit! I don't know should I split this episode because there is really not that much left. I kind of want to carry on and just have this done. Although I think there will be quite a lot of reading still. You know what? Let's split it. Let's split it just to ensure everything will be alright. And I'm gonna see with more. Forest of... Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just continue. What if we sit on the throne? Sitting in the ornate throne, you feel strangely uncomfortable. The 2 clone warriors grovel onto the floor in front of you. In complete subservience. Do they expect you to become their new master? If you wish to place the gold crown, nope. If you wish to leave, we leaving. You look back into the strange cavern and see the humanoid clone workers continue their labors in their fungi field. You shake your head in disbelief and run up to the last few steps to the hole in the cavern. You climb the last few steps and then you are out of the cavern standing on the rich green grass of the valley floor. To the east you see the hollow tree trunk down which you descend sometime before. You pass it and return to the path where you head north again. West-north. Amidst the trees, you see a small stone building covered with ivy and moss. We wish to examine it, it's where the second part of the hammer is. We do possess a silver key, and descend the stairs of the crypt. We might light the candle. We wish to try to leave the stone slab. We can't, but we're gonna try. But we have a dust of levitation. That way, the coffin opens. There's a rotting corpse inside, which is cursed and undead. But we do have a holy water this time. You reach into your backpack and pull out the small bottle of holy water. Quickly removing the cork, you throw the water at the advancing ghoul. Thick smoke rises into the air from the burn marks made by the holy water on the putrid flesh of the ghoul. The ghoul appears to be in the great pain, but through its wide open mouth no sound is heard. It crawls into a corner of the room, desperate to escape your godly weapon. You walk over to the coffin and look inside. You are overjoyed to see as well as 25 gold pieces, an object that the ghoul was using as a headrest, a bronze hammer head with the letter G inscribed in it. You happily put your findings in your backpack and walk back up to the stairs. There we have it. We have both pieces of the hammer. Now we're gonna just continue. Oh, this is the liar, isn't it? Among the debris and old bones scattered about, you catch sight of something glittering. We want to look more closely because we have a flute now. This is the lyre of the Wyvern. Testing our luck. Ooh. There you go. And we do possess the flute. You reach into your backpack and pull out the tiny brass flute. You have a strange feeling where you must play it now. Before the enraged Wyvern, as you do, a soft and gentle sound plays out from the flute and quizzical look appears on the Wyvern's face. Its mouth closes and its eyelid starts to drop. You're playing a magical flute of a dragon sleep, and the Wyvern is powerless to resist its soothing song. Slowly the Wyvern slumps to the ground and is as soon fast asleep. You walk around the motionless Wyvern and start to rummage through its lair and surrounding debris. You find a gauntlet made of plate iron and a gold ring, which is cursed. It's just like deja vu, this game for me, really. We get the gauntlet, and we wish to try the... No, we wish not. We wish not to try the gold cursed ring. And there are bandits. And this is what I realized. This is the end of the game, and you actually don't need to fight them. Because we won't need any of our items anymore. Regardless if you finish the game or we're gonna start over, you're gonna buy the items again. So I'm gonna wish to give you what you want this time. You may treat all the items in your backpack as a single object, including each gold piece. Sure. Take this, take this, take this, take this, take this. When you're given 5 objects, the bandit woman takes the items from you and steps back to let you pass. You head north again and soon notice the trees beginning to thin out on either side of the path. Eventually the path leads out of the trees into a plowed field. You are out of the darkwood forest. The path leads through the field to a stone bridge over a clear stream. Beyond the bridge are the small cottages and wooden huts of a village. A sign of the bridge reads Stonebridge. You cross the bridge and see 2 old dwarves within, long white beards standing by a cottage looking at you. Do you have the hammer and the handle with the letter G? It feels so good. Holy shit. You walk up to the old dwarves and ask them to take you to Gilbren. They eye you suspiciously but agree to do so, commenting on your wounds and torn clothing. You got those in Darkwood Forest, I presume, says one of the dwarves, pointing at various gashes on your body with his long clay pipe. Some people never learn. Adventurers are all the same. I can see the sense in it myself. You walk through the village behind the 2 dwarves and are aware of many dwarvish folk watching you. They begin to follow you and procreation builds up behind. There are lots of mutterings and whispers amongst the crowd of dwarves, and expectant looks show on their faces. Soon you arrive at the foot of stone steps leading up to the stone building. Outside the building, on an ornate wooden throne, sits a small old man with a long beard. He is wearing a crown but looks miserable and holds his head in his hand. You run up the steps, taking the hammer and hat and handle from your backpack. At the sight of them, the old dwarf eyes light up and he jumps to his feet. Taking them eagerly from you, he starts to shout, "My hammer! My hammer! We are saved! Now, my people, we are ready to fight the trolls!" The whole crowd erupts into cheering, waving their axes and swords in the air. You tell Gilbran of the big leg misfortune and why you decided to continue his quest, and of all the monsters you have encountered on your way, Gilbran listens and frowns at the news of Biglek, his faithful servant. Then he opens the drawer in the base of the throne and reaches into it, pulling out a small silver box and a golden winged helmet, and hands them to you. The helmet is worth hundreds of gold pieces, and you proudly place it on your head. A great roar of approval comes from the crowd. You open the silver box and find dozens of jewels and gems. You put those in your backpack and wave to the happy dwarves of the Stonebridge. Your quest is over and you are now wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Oh my god, I feel so happy. I finished Fighting Fantasy game, like properly. I know I didn't do it on the hardcore mode, but I think that makes this way more pleasurable for me and for you, because I didn't have to rage each time on the fucking fights and stuff. And the hardcore mode actually changes the original book, making it way harder too, from what I know. Yeah, but I actually didn't look up anything in this, ever. And I'm pretty happy about myself. We managed to finish it, from the beginning to end, even though it took 3 times. But it was fair 3 times. It wasn't like bullshit 3 times. It was a lot of exploring, a lot of interesting events, as always in this book, so yeah, I'm looking forward for the another one adventure of Steve Jackson or Ian Livingstone. I hope you enjoyed this series. I really like it. I like it a lot. And I think I like it even more than the other ones, because it was more of like this more classical fantasy adventure, I think. Like, I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I might just enjoyed it because I finished it, because I'm a selfish bastard. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you did, and I'm gonna see you with more Fighting Fantasy next Friday. Have a lovely weekend, guys, and farewell.